Okay, so I suggested you graph this on the calculator and I started to show it to you, so I'm just going to finish that up. Here is the graph on the graphing calculator. I want you to look at this window. I set it to match the window on the paper. So x min 0, x max 9, y min 0, y max 1200. The scale on the x-axis is 1. The scale on the y-axis is 200. So we get a pretty good matching graph here when we look at it. And then you could find these points 0 and 1 easily by calculating them like we did before, or you could look on the table because it's going to match the graph now. So we would have 0, 1200 would be, get my pen going here. 0, 1200 would be the first point. 1, 948 would be the next point. And then, of course, we have the point up here from the television's value at 2, 1200. Or, excuse me, that's, I'm sorry, I keep messing up here. I'm not thinking. 2, and the value of the TV after 2 years was 748.92, which we can also see on the table. So 748.92. And you could plot those points if you wanted to draw the graph. I'm not going to do it. I know the asymptote is y equals 0 because this isn't shifted up or down. So now comes the more interesting part of this. Using the graph, you can estimate the value of the television. With that, when will the value of the television be $300? So I can actually tell it even easier. Well, let's do it with the graph, like I said. So I'm going to trace the graph on the graphing calculator to where the y value is about 300. And I can see it going down here. It's getting close. It's getting closer. It's getting very close. So it's somewhere between, it looks like during year 5. During year 5, at some point, it hits $300. I can also look on the table as we started to do, and I can see $300 happens again sometime during the 5th and 6th year. It's, less than 369 and more than 291. So, around 5 years would be our answer. There is a checkpoint problem down here at the bottom, which you are welcome to do. I'm going to go ahead and work it, and it should appear on your screen then. And just okay, so I've shown you my calculations on the left over here for how much would the television be worth after 2 years. And you can see it's a much bigger value because the decrease was only 12% a year instead of 21% per year. So it's worth $929.28 at this point after 2 years. I've also graphed it on the graphing calculator so I could see what it would look like. It's a much gentler slope. It's not going down nearly as quickly. I can trace it to estimate when it's going to be worth $300. And I can see already it's many more years before it gets to $300. I'm looking at that Y value. You're seeing it's having to jump over screens because it's not getting there so fast. We're already up to after 10 years. So it looks like, there we had it right there, around 10, almost 11 years, 10.8 years, it would be worth $300. So that's how that problem works. This is the end of this note-taking guide, and so now go back to Canvas.